Ready to level up? Chumba Casino is your playbook to fun. It's free to play with no purchase necessary. Enjoy hundreds of online social games like blackjack, slots, and solitaire anytime, anywhere with fresh releases every week. Whether you're at home or on the go, let Chumba Casino bring the excitement to you. Plus, get free daily login bonuses and a free welcome bonus. Join now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Play Chumba Casino today. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. TNCs apply.
Cap and J Hood.
It's so good to have you guys a part of my life. And when I tune in every day, even though I don't call in as much as I should, I keep it locked in all the time up here in the snow.
I appreciate you, Curtis. Thank you so much for listening.
This radio station is by far the best radio station.
Get Cap and J Hood podcasts on demand in the ESPN Chicago app or listen weekdays 7 to 10 on ESPN 1000 and 100.3 HD2. 8th Street Studio. This is WMVP WTBC HD2 Chicago.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Coming up on SportsCenter all night. Can the Brewers make it 11 in a row?
Woody has his sign. Holds it on the belt. The 3-2 coming. Got him looking. Paints on the lower outside corner with a 95-mile-an-hour sinker. What a pitch.
Will the Dodgers bounce back after getting swept?
The 0-1 pitch is swung on and hit a ton. Byron Buxton unloads. Hello, Ohtani. That ball is gone. And Byron Buxton has done it again. First home run allowed this year by Shohei Ohtani.
Top defensive ends look for new contracts.
Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. So there's a lot of things you can think about when just as the player does when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
Plus, Chris Paul returns to the City of Angels.
Congratulations to Steve Ballmer and the Los Angeles Clippers. They have officially become the nursing home for the NBA for the players that are on the back end of their career.
From the worldwide headquarters of ESPN, this is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Chris Lewis.
Game of the day in the bigs between two marquee franchises out east in an interleague battle. And it ended in a fashion that we haven't seen in over 50 years. Phillies and Red Sox beginning a series in Philadelphia, and the Phils had ace Zach Wheeler on the mound. But Boston was unfazed to start.
Here's the pitch, and Duran skies one deep into left field. This thing back at the track, at the wall. Goodbye, Duran. Opposite field leadoff homer. Welcome to Philly. It is 1-0 Red Sox.
What a start and what a swing from Jarren Duran.
WEEI 93.7 FM. Now, Wheeler would recover. In fact, it was his 5th game this season with 10 strikeouts and no walks this season, the most in a year by a Phillies pitcher since the mound was set at its current distance in 1893. Let me emphasize that one more time, 1893. In the 4th inning, the Phillies took the lead.
And the pitch, swung on, hit on the ground, up the middle, into center field for a base hit. Here comes Castellanos around third. He will score, and it's an RBI single for JT Realmuto, and the Phillies take the lead. It's 2-1.
Sports Radio 94 WIP. Philadelphia leads, but Boston got a second run off of Wheeler in the 6th to tie it. So neither Wheeler nor Walker Buehler, who started for Boston, factored into the decision. To extras we go. The Phillies, the bases loaded, bottom of the 10th. Wildness ensued.
Sosa saying he caught the glove. It would be catcher's interference, and this game would be over.
Catcher's interference on the play.
They are going to go to review.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. There is catcher's interference. Batters awarded first base.
Game over on catcher's interference. Marsh will score. Sosa trots down to first. Everybody touches the bag. The Phillies spill out of the dugout. They walk it off in the most unusual fashion that you're going to see. Phillies win it 3-2.
On Sports Radio 94 WIP. So, yes, the Phillies are the first team to win on a catcher's interference since the Dodgers in 1971 when they did it against the Reds. So an incredibly strange ending to this game. And for the Red Sox, it's their 9th walk-off loss this season, the most in Major League Baseball. Boston Falls. So how did their rival Yankees fare against the Blue Jays? AL East matchup has been controlled by Toronto, taking 4 straight from New York heading in. But the big streak was Toronto's home win streak. The Blue Jays entered Monday's game with a franchise record-tying 10-game home win streak. It kept on rolling.
Rodon kicks and offers. Bichette lofts the ball down the left field line. Fair ball bouncing into the corner. Springer around third. He'll score. Vladdy getting away from Carlos Fabulous. Relay to the plate. Cut off. Head first dive. And the Blue Jays take a 2-1 lead. 2-run double. Bo Bichette. Toronto up in the 5th inning.
Sportsnet 590 The Fan, and they cruise to a 4-1 win, Blue Jays over the Yankees. Toronto's 59th win this season. It's tied for the second most wins through the team's first 100 games of a season. The only other year where they bested that was 1985. And it's the 11th straight home win for Toronto, breaking a tie for the longest home win streak in franchise history. Now, Aaron Judge in the game, we always update him. He went 0 for 2 with a walk. He now is hitting just 167 over his last 5 games. But even with the slump, he's still one of the front runners for AL MVP. He and Cal Raleigh are entrenched in a fun race, as Jeff Passan noted on Clinton and Friends.
This is going to be really interesting, if the numbers continue the way that they have for both, and let's say the season ends like that. It's going to be a very, very interesting voting because, in recent years, narrative has not played a particularly large role. Generally speaking, the guy with the highest wins above replacement total is the one that winds up winning the MVP award. And so right now, if I'm voting, what Cal Raleigh is doing is absolutely awesome. But Aaron Judge has been the better player this year. And so I would give it to Judge at this point, regardless of how important Raleigh has been to the Mariners, because the way that I've always looked at MVP voting is very simple. The best player is the most valuable player.
Well, the hottest team in the majors is the Milwaukee Brewers. 10 straight wins heading into Monday. It's the team's second longest win streak over the last 20 seasons. On SportsCenter, Tim Kirshen was asked to evaluate their most recent run.
They've won 10 games in a row, but more important, they've won 38 out of their last 53 games, and it's mostly because of the way they pitched. And now they have Jacob Mizorowski, who throws 100 miles an hour, and he throws a slider at 98. They have him for the whole second half. They have Brandon Woodruff back from a major arm injury. They have Freddie Peralta, who pitched in the All-Star game, or made the All-Star team. They also are second in the major leagues in stolen bases. They are a wicked good defensive team. They have a lot of momentum right now, and they will be a very dangerous team potentially when they get to October.
So Milwaukee, they remained out west with a chance to run their win streak to 11 against Cal Raleigh and the Mariners.
And here's the 1-0 to Churio. And it's a liner off the glove of Young and into center field for a base hit. Yelich jogs home. Churio with an RBI single. It is 6-0 Milwaukee.
And 6-0 is how it would end on 620 WTMJ. So the Brewers, they extend the longest active winning streak in Major League Baseball, winners of 11 straight. It's the second longest by any team this season. The Twins had a 13-game win streak. You heard the RBI single there. Christian Yelich also had a good game. He went 2 for 4, 2 runs, a run batted in. He now has a 27-game on-base streak, which is the longest active streak in baseball. This is SportsCenter All Night. Chris Lewis here on ESPN Radio.
The players look back on the 2020 CBA. They weren't particularly happy with it, but I always say they agreed to it.
I think both sides would love to get something agreed upon before the end of the season.
Investors are investing. The product is growing. Are we understanding now?
The biggest story to come out of the WNBA All-Star Game was the players wearing the Pay Us What You Owe Us shirts. The collective demonstration, it occurred 2 days after more than 40 players met with the league in the latest rounds of collective bargaining agreement negotiations. Reporter Kendra Andrews joined NBA Today to give an update.
The part that is really holding everything up is the topic of increased salary, and what the players are saying is getting a bigger piece of the pie when it comes to revenue shares. That is what Napheesa Collier told me is their non-negotiable. And it's something that the players were very disappointed the league didn't address as much in that meeting that they had on Thursday in Indy with over 40 players attending that. So players looked at that, and Breanna Stewart even said it was a missed opportunity because we didn't get much progress on this area. Now moving forward, it's unclear if there's going to be another in-person meeting, certainly not one of that magnitude with 40 players going. But Nneka Ogwumike, the union president, said, we've seen the growth in the league, and as it stands, the current salary system isn't paying us what we are owed, which was, of course, the messaging on those shirts. Nneka said, we want to be able to have that fair share moving forward, especially as we see all of the investment going on, and we want to be able to have our salaries reflected in the structure that makes sense to us.
That's Kendra Andrews on NBA Today. As for the reasons for wearing the shirts,
these shirts had been in the works for about a week leading up to Saturday night's game. It was really spearheaded by the leaders, the player leaders of the PA. As you heard Kelsey Plum say, they wanted to make a collected, united statement, and they felt they don't have to use words to do that. We know that in 2020, they wore shirts that supported the Black Lives Matter movement. They've also worn shirts that supported Brittany Griner when she was being detained overseas. So they knew that shirts would be a powerful and useful way to get their messaging across. Now, there was a players-only meeting on Saturday morning. The meeting was just to get on the same page, to make sure everyone felt comfortable wearing those shirts and that everyone was ready to go out and make this statement, take the conversations that they've been having behind closed doors for the last couple months and bring them to the national forefront. This was such a huge All-Star weekend. So many eyes were on this weekend. They knew that they could really get their point across here.
ESPN senior women's basketball writer Michael Vogel gave a perspective on the negotiations.
I always think, honestly, that one of the issues, and I know you guys have talked about this, is how fans outside of the women's basketball sphere see this. And, you know, they tend to treat the WNBA with great disdain. So, you know, they're going to see any demands the players make. They tend to act negatively toward them. I try to really look at this more historically, which is the fact that anytime you're going to have a collective bargaining agreement, you're going to start really far apart. I don't care what the industry is. So management and labor are always going to start pretty far apart. And then you're going to hopefully keep coming closer and closer together until you reach a point where both are happy. The players really, I think, have looked back on the 2020 CBA. They weren't particularly happy with it, but I always say they agreed to it.
Well, meanwhile, also on Clinton and Friends, Clinton Yates explained the current value of the WNBA.
The WNBA had one of the larger awakenings I've seen of any league in a long time. People have a hard time valuing the women's game on an intrinsic level. So they come up with all of these hoops to jump through that make sense to them in a derivative way that is, in fact, hogwash. So what the WNBA athletes are vying for is effectively more, not equity, but the sweat equity goes up because you're getting back what you deserve for what you're bringing to the table. Investors are investing. The product is growing. Are we understanding now?
Examples of that growth that Clinton is mentioning, it includes a new $2.2 billion media deal. And you look at the expansion fees that are reaching north of $250 million. So the players, they want a salary structure that gives them just a larger piece of the pie. I'm sure we'll have more on this as it unfolds. Coming up next, Chris Paul has a new old home. It's the Sports Center All Night on ESPN Radio.
This weekend on ESPN Radio. Two teams in the hunt for October go head-to-head.
Juan Soto ties the game.
The New York Mets are in San Francisco to face the Giants. Coverage begins Saturday at 8:30 Eastern and Sunday at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Presented by Progressive Insurance. More Sports Center all night. Coming up next.
Ready to level up? Chumba Casino is your playbook to fun. It's free to play with no purchase necessary. Enjoy hundreds of online social games like blackjack, slots, and solitaire anytime, anywhere with fresh releases every week. Whether you're at home or on the go, let Chumba Casino bring the excitement to you. Plus, get free daily login bonuses and a free welcome bonus. Join now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Play Chumba Casino today. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. T&Cs apply.
This is a Bears town. We worship great defense. We appreciate frigid temperatures when our 11 are battling their 11 on the lakefront in January. We love a helmet with a chunk of fresh turf lodged in it. This is a Bears town. And we are the new home of the Bears. ESPN Chicago.
This July, let's drive for the troops. All month long, Chicagoland's new car dealers will be raising money for the USO and our troops. There will be barbecues, bike rides, family fun, and of course, cars. All kinds of ways for you to help support the USO and our military and their families. Visit DriveChicago.com to find participating dealers or just to make a donation online. Help us make a difference in our community and drive for the troops this July. Visit DriveChicago.com.
I'm Tom Waddle. Whatever he's accomplished in life, he's done it because of Tom Waddle. He's done it because of the effort he put into being a football player, for one thing. If you're talking about full-out speed and blazing talent, no. But how do you measure the heart and the will of an individual? And he had that. So if you have the heart and the will, that's going to propel you to do things a lot greater than this guy who has these flexy muscles and stands around and gets his ass kicked when the ball snapped.
Hear Waddle with Sylvie.
Now, weekdays 2:30 to 6:30 on ESPN Chicago.
Mama, what does the chicken say?
Chicken. Oh, okay.
And the wolf?
Oh, a wolf.
Ooh! What about the tiny dog? Cat? Owl? Dolphin? What does the turkey say? Whale?
Whale sound.
Do the giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Okay. Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Carmen and Yurko. Weekdays, now noon to 3 on Chicago's home for sports. ESPN Chicago.
You're listening to Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Chris Lewis.
Presented by Progressive Insurance. Free agent point guard Chris Paul has agreed to a deal with the LA Clippers, according to ESPN's Shams Charania.
Chris Paul wanted to stay near his family in Los Angeles this upcoming season, and the Clippers needed another reserve guard. They needed someone at the point guard position coming off the bench, so it made it a perfect match, a perfect reunion. And multiple suitors such as Milwaukee, Dallas, Charlotte all expressed interest in Chris Paul over the last few weeks. But now the ability to join a contender in LA, the history, shared history that these two sides have together, 5 All-Star appearances, 5 All-NBA teams, a franchise record with the Clippers in 6 years that he had spent there prior. And he really wanted to see, can he return back to the Clippers. And this is a team full of veteran players. It's a deep team. I'm told Chris Paul very much understands his role could fluctuate night to night. He might not play on some nights, but the ability to start, come off the bench, and be a plug-and-play player, this is someone that could have a pretty impactful role coming off that Clippers bench.
So as Shams mentioned, Paul, just the latest vet added to the team. They added shooting guard Bradley Beal, power forward John Collins, center Brook Lopez, all this offseason. Not to mention James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, and maybe their advanced age is still on the team as well. So with all that in mind, Kendrick Perkins gave a take.
Congratulations to Steve Ballmer and the Los Angeles Clippers. They have officially become the nursing home for the NBA for the players that are on the back end of their career. If we think that this is about to move the needle for the Clippers as far as being a competitor, not just a title contender, but competing in the tough Western Conference, it's not. And I get it. Chris Paul, he brings great value, whether he's playing or whether he's on the bench being an extension of Ty Lue. But when I look at their roster, I look at a guy like Dunn. Yes, he's a guy that could defend at a high level, but the Clippers look old. And they still, to me, have a problem at that wing position when it comes down to depth from guys that could compete and play at a high level on the defensive side of things. Offensively, they got enough to put up points. They're going to have a good regular season. But when it comes down to them competing in the Western Conference, especially when they get postseason time, can they compete with the likes of a Houston, OKC, Denver, even the Lakers now? I just don't see it.
He's never afraid to give a unique take. So, yeah, the old team in the Western Conference, but they do have a lot of talent, at least players who have accomplished a lot in the league, and ESPN Radio's Freddie Coleman is seeing the positives.
I honestly believe with the loaded Western Conference, the way they've been able to fortify not just their starting lineup, but also their bench, I think it's a small sample. It's a small space. But to me, they're the second best team right now on paper in the Western Conference behind Oklahoma City.
All right. Well, Paul, you spent last season with the Spurs, played all 82 games, becoming the first player to play all 82 games in his 20th season or later. Sports Center all night. My name is Chris Lewis, and Paul Skeens took on the team with, entering the day, the best record in baseball in the Detroit Tigers.
Here's the pitch. He struck him out with a sweeper looking. Sixth strikeout for Paul Skeens. And he caught Gleyber Torres looking on the sweeper.
That's on 93.7 The Fan, and he helped shut down the Tigers lineup. 3-0 was the final score. Skeens went 6 innings with those 6 strikeouts. His ERA is 0.55 over his last 5 home starts. Lowest ERA in a 5-game span at home by a Pirate in the last 10 seasons. The Tigers, they've lost 7 of their last 8 games. Despite their excellent record, they're cooled off quite a bit over the last couple of weeks. Meanwhile, the team that's red hot in the National League, the Cubs, they were bested by the Royals.
And ball, one strike. Salvi and the pitch. There's a drive, well hit, left center field again, and gone. Perez. And the Royals have blown the lid off this game. Garcia doubles. Perez hits his second home run of the game, and he now has 17 for the season.
I know 96.5 The Fan, so Sal Perez hits 2 home runs in the game. Royals beat the Cubs 12-4. It's the 20th career multi-home run game for Sal Perez with the Royals. That is the most in franchise history. There are 12 runs in this game. Their most in a game this season. Angels continuing their East Coast swing against the Mets. They jumped out to a lead, but saw it slip away.
1-1 pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball to third. Picked by Moncada. Comes home. The throw is dropped. It's dropped by O'Hoppe. Beatty scores. Holding at third is Alvarez. On at first is Mauricio. And the Mets have taken a 6-5 lead.
So they take the lead on 880 ESPN New York. They trailed by the score of 4-0. Juan Soto, he had the game-tying 2-run single in the 7th inning before Beatty ended up scoring on that error. Mike Trout in the game went 0 for 3, so his 6-game hitting streak is snapped. to the Dodgers, who are coming off of getting swept by the Brewers. They got back on the winning side.
Smith clobbers another one. Left field in deep. Way back it goes. Will Smith leaves the yard for a second time tonight. I mean, that ball was right off the bat, and my man Rick Monday was reaching back to Dwayne McDonald for the card because he knew it was home run number 14 for Smith in a 4-1 Dodger lead.
AM 570 LA Sports. Hey, the Dodgers needed a game like this. Will Smith, 2 home runs, and the Dodgers beat the Twins 5-2. It snaps their 6-game home losing streak, which was their longest since 2017. And Shohei Ohtani, he was the pitcher for the Dodgers when 3 innings, allowed 1 run, and had 3 strikeouts. Padres Marlins was a close one, but the win goes to San Diego.
2-1, hit hard on the line. That's a fair ball up the third baseline, headed towards the left field corner. Merrill's on his horse. He's at third. Stowers gets to it. Leeper going to hold him. Going to run through the stop sign. Relay to the plate, not in time, and it gets away. Merrill ran right through the stop sign and comes in to score. Martin Maldonado, an RBI double.
97-3, the Fan. Padres squeaked past the Marlins 2-1. They've won 6 of their last 8 games. Braves Giants, a high-scoring one. Atlanta gets the better of it.
1-2 to Baldwin. Bouncer up the middle, out of the reach of the diving Casey Schmidt. Olsen around third base, and he'll come across and score. Acuna wants to try as well. Darts to the plate. He dives. He's in there. Ronald Acuna running as fast as he could around third, like a mad dash to the plate. And the hustle drives in a couple of runs. It's 7-2 Braves.
680 the Fan. It's always fun when Acuna is healthy because he makes highlight plays after highlight plays. That time just running from first base to score. And the Braves top the Giants 9-5. Giants have lost 6 in a row. That is the longest active losing streak right now in Major League Baseball. Astros double up the Diamondbacks.
First pitch from Gallen. And he slugs this one. Left field and deep. There it goes. A 2-run homer by Matthews, and it's 6-3. That was deep. About 10 rows deep into the seats, and Matthews with home runs 1 and 2 of his Major League career.
On KBME 790 AM, that was the final, 6-3. How about the White Sox beating the Rays?
Well, they're 0 for 3 so far tonight. Baldwin sends a deep drive out into right, and it's gone. A 3-run homer for Brooks Baldwin. That's where you got to hit him in the air in this yard.
Boy, that did not jump off of the bat, but it just kept going and bullseye.
There you go on ESPN 1000. White Sox beat the Rays 8-3. It's their longest win streak this season at 4 games. Cardinals topped the Rockies 6-2. Guardians over the Orioles 10-5. And the Rangers beat the Athletics 7-2. Coming up next, Jerry Jones' puzzling comment on SportsCenter All Night.
What's up, kiddos? Clinton Yates here. Coming up on Tuesday, training camps across the NFL are opening up, and we'll tell you why one team remains in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. That's Tuesday on Clinton and Friends at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. I bet I can guess the squad.
Ready to level up? Chumba Casino is your playbook to fun. It's free to play with no purchase necessary. Enjoy hundreds of online social games like blackjack, slots, and solitaire anytime, anywhere with fresh releases every week. Whether you're at home or on the go, let Chumba Casino bring the excitement to you. Plus, get free daily login bonuses and a free welcome bonus. Join now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Play Chumba Casino today. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21+. TNCs apply.
This is Al.
It is our privilege to welcome in the great Al Michaels.
And this is Mike.
Mike Tirico is in our studio.
They talk to a lot of people about sports.
You know, it's always great to talk with you guys. It's my favorite call-in show.
And they enjoy talking to Waddle and Sylvie the most.
I travel around the country. There's no radio show I like listening to more. I like coming on more.
So be like Mike.
I say it all the time. I love you guys. You guys are as good as it gets.
And Al.
Unbelievable.
And talk to Waddle and Sylvie.
I can listen to you guys.
Afternoons on ESPN 1000.
If your hair could talk, it would probably say, "Thanks for saving time on a great haircut at Great Clips. You used online check-in to put your name on the list in the app and made it to the salon right on time, thanks to getting a Ready Next text. Your hair would also like to add, this cut rules. And the price, a very close second. For a great haircut that fits your schedule and your budget, take it from your hair. Take yourself to Great Clips. Download the app today.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
Workplace stress is now a leading cause of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce feeling it more than ever. Hey guys, it's Sylvie. You can't escape work, but you can take small steps to care for yourself. A walk, some sun, a favorite song. Therapy is one of those steps. Ongoing support to build resilience for whatever your day throws at you. Balance is tough. Getting help shouldn't be. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/timeout.
I don't think anybody ever expects to hear that their child has cancer. It's always one of those things that happens to somebody else. But it definitely feels like your soul is sucked out of your body when they tell you that it's your baby. I knew that St. Jude was a children's hospital. I knew that no one ever received a bill from St. Jude, but I in no way understood how amazingly and completely they take care of their patients and their families. When we first got here, Hunter was in an incredible amount of pain, and St. Jude gave him the most superb care. Childhood cancer is devastating, but childhood cancer is beatable with St. Jude. To any of the donors, I would say bless you and thank you, because without the donors, St. Jude wouldn't be here.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Chicago's home for sports is on Twitch. See what we're up to. Follow ESPN 1000 Chicago today.
You're listening to Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Chris Lewis.
Presented by Progressive Insurance. Cars, homes, boats, motorcycles, RVs, and more at Progressive.com.
Half-hour headlines on Sports Center all night.
Chris Paul agrees to a deal with the Clippers. Bengals give an update on the Trey Hendrickson contract dispute. Jerry Jones speaks as Cowboys open up camp.
Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does, when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
That was Jerry Jones talking about Micah Parsons. Yeah, how interesting was that? Oh, you sign him, you might only get him for X amount of games because he might get hurt. You don't really hear that too often from an owner. Well, Micah Parsons, he did report to training camp in Oxnard, California. But what's not clear is whether Parsons will actually take part in practice when the Cowboys begin workouts on Tuesday. He's looking for a long-term extension. Jerry Jones was asked if he communicated with Micah.
I've talked with people that have talked to him. Let's put it like that. You know, I don't necessarily talk to these agents, or I don't necessarily talk to attorneys, and I do stuff everywhere, and I don't necessarily talk to the people that are hired to do certain things. I talk to the principals 90% of the time.
Well, as the Cowboys wait, a number of high-priced pass rushers have been signed. You look at the Steelers, T.J. Watt, he became the highest-paid non-quarterback in the NFL with a deal that averages $41 million per season. Jones went into detail on how these negotiations and how it differs from the other Cowboys.
Frankly, should we have waited on Diggs and Steele? Oh, you brought them up. I didn't.
Well, the other thing is the willingness. I mean, you have players who are, who decide, hey, I'm willing to wait. And I'm going to wait on bigger numbers. And then you got other players who want to be more conservative and say, hey, I'd like to have my money now. And that's every person's different. Every player's different.
That was Stephen Jones, who was in on the back end of that. Jerry Jones, of course, was at the start of that answer. ESPN Cowboys reporter Todd Archer gave an update on NFL Live.
Let's start where Micah is. He's here. That's the good news, right? He's in one of these hotel rooms. There was some question as what he would be, but back in June at the minicamp, Micah said he would be here. The question now becomes, will he practice? Will we see some sort of hold in? 2 years ago, the Cowboys didn't see Zach Martin held out of training camp before getting a deal done. Last year, CeeDee Lamb missed most of training camp before getting a deal done. For Jerry Jones, though, he's not concerned about Micah and the contract, believing it eventually will get done.
Quite often, contract negotiations, what it is a battle of leverage. And ESPN analyst Phil Yates thinks the leverage is on the player's side.
Jerry Jones, I do believe, and I know Todd has talked about this and reported on it, that there was nearly a deal in place between the Cowboys and Micah Parsons much earlier this offseason. What I will say, though, from Micah Parsons' vantage point is that Jerry referenced at least one of those prior hold-ins, hold-outs, whatever you want to refer to them as. The Cowboys have been doing this dance over the past handful of seasons pretty frequently. Dak Prescott, his contract negotiations, CeeDee Lamb, Zach Martin, even going back to Ezekiel Elliott. I think what those negotiations may embolden Micah Parsons to do is play a little bit on his terms and understand that sometimes being patient and letting other players that play the same position, like Max Crosby and Myles Garrett and TJ Watt, getting new deals could end up working to his advantage, because it would not surprise any of us if Micah Parsons eventually surpasses Hawk, the recent deal that TJ Watt just signed.
Of course, as we highlighted, this is nowhere near the first time the Cowboys have had public contract disputes and negotiations heading into camp, whether it's CeeDee Lamb or Dak Prescott, Zach Martin. They've all been in similar situations. And analyst Andrew Hawkins on NFL Live says that this can become a distraction.
I get that Jerry Jones is used to this process. He's okay with waiting to the very last minute and paying whatever tax comes along with that. But the reality is, it's a distraction, and it has an ability to derail your season too early. Like, yeah, in a perfect world, you miss 2 games and then go win the Super Bowl. But we know that's not how this works. Every week is super important. And the Zach Martin situation, the CeeDee Lamb situation, even for Micah Parsons, you're better off getting him in the building and practicing, because you need him to be the best defensive player in the league if your goals are legitimate.
And the reason for the potential distraction is the owner, according to ESPN Radio's Freddie Coleman.
Once again, Jerry Jones wants to let everybody know that his yardstick is bigger than anybody else's. That's what this comes down to. And for somebody who thinks he has that kind of cachet, which organization has not won the championship since 1996, it's laughable at times, because you know it's always going to be something that's going to revert back to say, I'm the boss. Hey, Jerry, we know you're the boss. We get it. How about act like one? How about be a better boss? Don't have people try to overcome your transgressions. And when it comes to player contracts or putting a team together.
The State of the Cowboys news conference that you heard parts of, we edited it down because it lasted more than 50 minutes. But they weren't the only team to have their owner speak about contract disputes Monday. Here's Bengals owner Mike Brown on the defensive lineman Trey Hendrickson.
Well, we're working at it. I came over here, and we have people back in our office who are sharpening their pencils and trying to figure that out as I speak here. It has been a long negotiation. Trey Henderson is a fine player. He's a good guy. We want him here. Dealing with him is sometimes not so easy. That's all right. He's got the right to argue his case. We'll try to make sense of it from our perspective, and we'll see. I'm not persuaded that it isn't going to get done. As far as I'm concerned, the sooner the better.
Brown was asked directly whether Hendrickson deserves a raise.
Do you think Trey deserves a raise?
We offered him one, but keep in mind, Trey signed for this season. But foolishly, maybe we offered him one, but a raise. But anyway, he deserves a raise. He did well, and he played effectively. He's important to us.
That word foolishly being slipped in there again, like these are interesting, bold choices by some of these NFL owners on how they decide to approach these negotiations with some of the best players on their team. So it's unclear whether Trey Hendrickson, who's an all-pro player, will report with the remaining veterans on Tuesday. ESPN Bengals reporter Ben Baby joined Joe and Q and gave his takeaway from the presser.
We asked him about Trey Hendrickson, and he did say he thinks that a deal does get done. I heard him throughout his annual media luncheon, and this is the only time he speaks to the media each year is when he sits down with us here locally in Cincinnati. And, he said that he believes that, Trey has, earned a raise, and it sounds like both sides or the Bengals side is definitely looking to try to get Trey done sooner rather than later. Now, Duke Tobin, the Bengals de facto general manager, did say that they expect all players who are under contract to report on Tuesday when the veterans are scheduled to arrive here in Cincinnati. So we'll see how quickly this plays out. But I think in hearing what Mike Brown had to say, given how he's talked about contracts in the past, I think you have to feel optimistic about potentially this deal getting done sooner rather than later.
So Ben Baby talking about the Bengals and what they have to go through on their side with the Trey Hendrickson contract negotiations. This is SportsCenter All Night. Chris Lewis here on ESPN Radio. Free agent point guard Chris Paul has agreed to a deal with the LA Clippers. According to ESPN Shams Charania, it will be his 21st season, and it will likely be his last.
Chris Paul is expected to retire after this season. He's going to go through training camp, go through the season like he always does, see how it goes. But his plan is for this to be his final season. He told the Pat McAfee show a month ago that he wanted to be back near his family. Now he's back in Los Angeles. He got to do just that for a potential storybook finish to a 21-year illustrious Hall of Fame career.
The Clippers want to preserve James Harden. He played nearly 2,800 minutes at age 35 in his 16th year. So according to Brian Windhorst, this has a chance to be a value add for Los Angeles.
To get a first ballot Hall of Famer, really for a bargain basement contract, because he was prioritizing staying home in Los Angeles ahead of playing time and role. He could have gone to Milwaukee, as Shams mentioned, and gotten more guaranteed playing time. That's not going to be the case here. From what I understand, he's not going to have guaranteed playing time. There are going to be nights where James Harden and their backup Chris Dunn get the minutes at point guard, and Chris Paul might not play at all, which is something you've never seen from him before. He has understood that. He understands that he is going to be in that spot that he hasn't. He wants to be on a competitive team in the market he wants to play in near his family. And, look, there had to be an understanding with James Harden. He and James Harden didn't have the greatest relationship when they were in Houston a few years ago, but Harden is on board with this signing. They went to him with it first. He understands that he played the 5th most minutes in the league last year, and anything the Clippers can do to support and protect him is welcomed, and that's what this move is.
So Chris Paul to the Clippers. Remember, one of his former teams was in Phoenix with the Suns, which brings us to our next 50 States in 50 Days segment.
SportsCenter, 50 states in 50 days.
We going coast to coast. We going coast to coast.
On ESPN Radio.
50 states in 50 days takes us to the great state of Arizona. Tonight, we'll be showcasing some of the great moments, 3 moments that are a part of their sports history.
We go back into the time machine starting on the hardwood, where in 2018, the number 18 Sun Devils upset the number 1 Kansas Jayhawks. The call on ESPN.
Dotson gives it up. Vic from the corner. Back to Dotson, throws hands into the backcourt. Over and back violation. It's Arizona State ball. And that's a break for Kansas there. Because Edwards, he had an opportunity there to keep going. History in the making. It's over. Number 1 goes down in Tempe.
Next, we go to the 2016 NFC Divisional Round, where the Arizona Cardinals face the Green Bay Packers after a 75-yard pitch and catch to Larry Fitzgerald. 2 plays later, Carson Palmer found Fitzgerald again to send the Cardinals to the NFC Championship. The call on Arizona Sports 98.7 FM.
They can win it with a touchdown. They motion John Brown to the near side. Snap to Palmer, rolls out, and it's a pitch to Fitz, running straight ahead into the end zone. The shovel pass to the touchdown of the win. The Cardinals advance to the NFC Championship game on a shovel pass, of all things, in one of the craziest games ever.
Finally, we go to the Diamond as the Arizona Diamondbacks walk it off to beat the Yankees in Game 7 of the World Series. The call on KTAR.
Gonzalez digs into the plate, the stretch, and the 0-1 delivery. And a little Cooper. Great steal! Diamondbacks win! They're the world champions! Gonzalez did it! The Diamondbacks have won the World Series!
There you go. It's Nick DeLuca with the sounds there. Arizona, some fantastic sports moments. Tomorrow on SportsCenter, we'll be going to Massachusetts. Coming up next, the Titans are 1 quarterback down entering training camp. This is SportsCenter All Night on ESPN Radio.
50 states in 50 days rolls on.
50 states in 50 days, we're in Nebraska.
On your mark. Get set.
Man, look at this guy. You got it. I can tell we're going to be able to do some cool stuff today.
I think it's a little ironic you're called Scooby because I feel like it might be a little bit of a mystery to try and hit this ball.
50 states, 50 days. This is SportsCenter on tour.
More SportsCenter all night. Coming up next.
The Waddle and Sylvie audio experience.
What are those guys' names?
Siegfried and Roy. One of them's gone. They both died.
Are they both done?
Yes, sir.
That's another name or names. When you're younger, you always got it mixed up when you heard it.
Siegfried and Roy.
I thought there were 3 of them. I thought there was Sig. I thought there was Fried, and I thought there was Roy. I'm like, where's the third dude?
Oh, I just got cramp.
I
got a laughing cramp.
If you missed something, get the podcast on the ESPN Chicago app.
Or listen live daily 2:30 to 6:30. ESPN Chicago.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
From Professor Carmen DeFalco.
Not too many people that can have sports knowledge and also whiskey bourbon knowledge.
Carmen's amazing. I do like whiskeys and bourbons. Still kind of a novice, and he helps me understand a little bit better what I should be looking for.
I'm a hardcore bourbon guy, and I listen to Carmen Yurko every day.
He can pull out the very essentials that I can't even taste.
Stay tuned for details on the next session of SCU, an ESPN Chicago production.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yak to. And I just feel like I'll be fine if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
If you miss a show
or an interview
on ESPN 1000, you can hear it anytime, anywhere through the all-new ESPN Chicago app.
You're listening to SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Chris Lewis.
Titans quarterback Will Levis has elected to have season-ending surgery on his right shoulder. The team announced that on Monday. He suffered the AC joint injury while diving for a first down against the Dolphins back on September 30th. Levis hoped that rest and rehab would allow the shoulder to recover, but according to ESPN, continued to have discomfort. So now the spotlight even brighter on number one pick Cam Ward. ESPN's Mina Kimes joined NFL Live and told us what to look for.
The other thing I think you really want Cam to work on this summer, and something that he can improve in, perfect rather, in camp, is just playing faster. You know, you mentioned Jayden Daniels, and when people say, well, what was it that was so fundamental to his success, his rookie season in the NFL? The thing I go back to is just how quickly he played inside the pocket in structure. He had the fourth fastest time to throw in football last year. Some of that was structural. They had a lot of screens and quick game. But it's important to highlight because Cam Ward is good at it. I think we think of him as making these crazy plays outside of structure, sometimes drifting in the pocket. But when he was throwing quickly, 2.5 seconds or less, he was third amongst all college passers in QBR, 20 touchdowns to 1 interception. Hawk talked about the processing. He also has a very unique arm talent that allows him to throw quickly on RPOs accurately. So that's what I want to see from him this summer in the preseason if he plays, and then early on is just playing quickly.
Ward will likely be backed up by Brandon Allen, who was a free agent addition, 3 seasons with Titans coach Brian Callahan, and when the two were together with the Cincinnati Bengals. Analyst Andrew Hawkins highlighted how important Ward's first-team reps will be.
Incredibly important. They're important for any player, even if you're a veteran, let alone a rookie, that now you're looking at as the solidified starter, right? And I think this is almost a better scenario for Cam, because now you don't have to make it look like a quarterback battle. You can get him in there, get him used to NFL speed, get him used to NFL processing, which you cannot duplicate without another 21 guys on the field. And the hope when you watch Cam Ward play, and the thing that makes people excited, is the fact he's a great processor. More along in the camp of the C.J. Strouds, the Jayden Daniels, the Bo Nix, these guys that have reps under their belt and they can come into the league and kind of hit the ground running. And that's what you hope for with Cam Ward, and it starts in training camp when you're getting him these reps.
Meanwhile, for the Titans, they expect their 2022 first-rounder Treylon Burks, a receiver, to be ready for camp. He tore his ACL during practice last October. Here's Nick DeLuca again with today's Top Sound.
SportsCenter all night.
Oh, my goodness. Check it out on SportsCenter tonight.
Today's Top Sound.
How good is that? Are you ready to take?
Number 5.
All right, Chris, start in Atlanta. Braves and Giants. Bases full of Braves in the first. Drake Baldwin brought them all home on 680 The Fan.
Bases loaded, no one out. 2-1 pitch. And he swings and crushes one towards the gap and all the way to the wall. Here we go. Profar scores. Olsen scores. Acuna scores. 3 RBI double. Drake Baldwin makes it 3-1 Atlanta in the first.
Number 4.
Twins and Dodgers in L.A. Shohei Ohtani gave up a homer in the first, answering back in the bottom half on AM 570 L.A. Sports.
The 2-1, and Ohtani blasts it, tosses the bat. That ball is way gone toward the batter's eye. We got a unicorn sighting in Los Angeles. 2 strikeouts in the top of the first and a go-ahead blast in the bottom of the first.
Number 3.
Extras in Philly. Phillies with a chance to walk off the Red Sox with the bases loaded. Something weird happened on 94 WIP.
Sosa saying he caught the glove. It would be catcher's interference and this game would be over.
Catcher's interference on the play.
They are going to go to review.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. There is catcher's interference. Batters awarded first base.
Game over on catcher's interference. Marsh will score. Sosa trots down to first. Everybody touches the bag. The Phillies spill out of the dugout. They walk it off in in the most unusual fashion that you're going to see. Phillies win it 3-2.
Number 2.
Rangers and A's in Arlington. Lawrence Butler at it again in the outfield on Talk 650 KSTE.
Here's the pitch. That swung on, drive to deep center field. Going back is Butler at the track, at the wall, leaps up, and did Butler make the catch? He did. What a play by Butler. Are you kidding me? Lawrence Butler breaking out his inner Denzel Clark. What a play by Lawrence. Wow.
And he fooled everybody.
Yes, he did.
Lawrence goes skyward.
Number 1.
And Chris, our top sound of the night from Seattle. The Brewers stay red hot, add another to the winning streak on 620 WTMJ.
And the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Fastball at 95 on the outside edge. Moore went after it, came up empty, and the Brewers have won 11 in a row. The best record in baseball belongs to Milwaukee.
They just keep on winning. Meanwhile, Unsportsmanlike starts 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio. Host Chris Canty already in football mode, and he had a take on this year's Patriots.
Can Mike Vrabel actually turn things around in New England?
Oh, absolutely. I look at the New England Patriots as one of those surprise teams. They're a team that can go from being in the top 5 at the NFL draft to being in the final 8 in the postseason. Like, I think the New England Patriots have what it takes. I love what they went out and did on the defensive side of the ball. I appreciate what they're trying to do addressing the offensive line. And this is all about being able to get Drake May to take that next step. They got a supremely talented quarterback. They're going to be well coached. I love what the New England Patriots have done this offseason.
Yeah, they made a lot of upgrades. They invested a lot on both sides of the ball. The question is it enough for Drake May to have him take the next step on what showed to be some flashes in his first year as a quarterback of the Patriots? So it'd be quite a turnaround for a team that, again, was inside the top 5 of the draft. On the other side, you have the Vikings, right? They were tied for the second most wins in the NFC last year, but they didn't win a playoff game. They decided to make a change at quarterback and go with J.J. McCarthy. So what are the realistic expectations?
Double-digit wins to have his team in the postseason. I think that is the fair expectation. The season to look a lot like it did last year. If it looks the way it did last year, you win double-digit games, your team is a wild card, you lose a game on the road in the postseason, I think that's a successful year one for J.J. McCarthy. It's interesting because the bar to clear for him and the ceiling seem to be about the same. If J.J. McCarthy doesn't get this team to the postseason, then all of a sudden we have questions about what kind of quarterback J.J. McCarthy is and whether or not the Minnesota Vikings made the right decision, not only in drafting him, but made the right decision in terms of letting Sam Darnold walk out of the door.
Well, earlier on SportsCenter, we highlighted the latest with the Cowboys and Micah Parsons. Jerry Jones is optimistic on the team. Canty doesn't see it that way.
I think he has to believe it. He has to believe it based on what he's done contractually with several of his star players. Look, you don't pay CeeDee Lamb $34 million a year if you don't think you can win a Super Bowl. You don't pay Dak Prescott $60 million a year if you don't think you can win a Super Bowl. Or you're not going to pay Micah Parsons what you're going to pay him if you don't think you can win a Super Bowl. So they believe it. They might be delusional in thinking so, but they believe it.
And with that, that wraps up SportsCenter All Night. It's time to get to Unsportsmanlike. Before we do that, thank you to hand out to our producer, Justin Osterwick, our technical director, Javon Cutler. My name is Chris Lewis. This has been SportsCenter All Night.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Tuesday, Chris Canty will have to answer for comparing Caleb Williams to Patrick Mahomes last year. Yikes, you don't want to miss that. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Get some knowledge. Attend Whiskey U.
How many Whiskey U's have you been to?
Probably been about 10 or 11 Whiskey U's.
Yeah, this is my second one.
Probably 5 or 6.
And I came out to that first one, and I was like, oh, well, this is nice.
Top notch. Kerman's amazing.
From then, it just took off for me.
Stay tuned for details on the next session of Whiskey U.
I'm a sophomore, so I think I have 2 years to go, and I'm hoping to get a master's. Fingers crossed.
Whiskey me?
No, Whiskey you!
Do you
have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Take it from me, when you want the job done right, you call the pros. And that's why Chicago trusts Window Works. For over 30 years, they've delivered custom windows and doors that fit your home, your style, and your budget. No cookie cutter stuff, just certified pros who get it done. And it's not just about beauty. These windows can help cut down your energy bills, too. Right now, buy one window, get one free. Dial pound 250 on your phone and say Waddle to book your free consultation today.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months, and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
This is ESPN Chicago, WNVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
This is Unsportsmanlike.
Do you think Jerry Jones really believes that this team, from a personnel standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, has what it takes?
I think he has to believe it, Smalls. He has to believe it based on what he's done contractually with several of his star players. They believe it. They might be delusional in thinking so, but they believe it.
Okay, welcome to the show.
You're not going to be able to focus for the first segment after what I just told you.
ESPN Radio, ESPN2. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. They offer auto, home, commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today. Along with Chris Canty, Evan Cohen with you, Michelle Smallman hosting NFL Live today. No big deal. No big deal for her.
Yeah.
But yes, we were laughing coming. I mean, how do we not address this?
We have to address it.
You just told me something 2 seconds beforehand that was hysterical.
Well, you just took issue with my vacation plans.
So I'm going to set it up how I heard it so the audience can hear it the way that I heard it. CC said to me, you know, I lost out on a trip to the French Riviera. And I'm thinking, what happened? Like, I'm thinking, did you win a contest? You lost a contest?
No.
No, the way you phrased it is you lost and thus you have to go.
Correct.
Explain.
Well,
this is the weirdest setup ever, but it's perfect. Go ahead.
Well, we only have so much time this summer where my wife and I's schedules coincide where we can steal away together. And so the debate happens on what we're going to do, what our summer plans are going to be, where are we going to go on vacation. And it just so happens that the end of August is the perfect time, and it just so lines up with our anniversary. So this will be our 3rd wedding anniversary, and I wanted to go down to South Carolina, down to Hilton Head. My family's got a place there, and I love to go down there because I love to play golf.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was advocating to go back down to Hilton Head
right.
for the last bit of vacation to end out our summer in the end of August. And my wife said, no, we're actually going to go on a proper vacation. So we ended up booking a trip to go to the French Riviera.
Do you think this is a great poll question for Rob to put up at Unsports ESPN? Would you rather go on vacation to South Carolina or the French Riviera? And let me just say something. I understand where you're coming from.
You do.
I'm going to tell you why. So both of us work. I think people figured that out.
Yeah.
Breaking news. We work.
We like to work.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's
thank you, Pat.
insane.
No, it's not Smalls. And both of our wives work very hard and have
Yes.
great jobs.
Yes.
And it's something that we have both confided in each other that really makes us genuinely happy at their motivation and their drive. So vacations don't always align, but when they do, my wife says the same thing that your wife says. Let's go here, let's go there. And the only thing I want to do is go to Florida.
It's chill.
Is go to
That's
Florida.
it.
I
That's
just
all
want to go to
wanna
Florida.
do.
I want to stay at my in-laws and go to Florida and do nothing.
And what you also have to understand is that when we go to these destinations, it's
Yeah.
not just sit on a beach and chill.
No, you got to do activities.
My wife has a full itinerary.
Yep.
We
Yep.
get fully engrossed in the culture of the area that we're going to. And so you've got stuff to do all day.
Right.
So it's not like, hey, sleep in, get breakfast or brunch poolside, have a couple of cocktails, lay around, maybe go somewhere, maybe not leave the resort. No, it's not that type of party.
No.
We got several things to do every single day. By the time I get back from vacation, I'm exhausted.
Oh, you've never been more right in your life.
I'm
I
exhausted.
loved your power rankings of the quarterbacks yesterday. You were dead on that. Go back on the podcast and listen to it.
Yeah.
You're not as right at that, even though you were 100% right, as you are with this.
Yeah.
It's exhausting to go on vacation.
No, I love the vacations that
now,
my
this is
wife's
first world
planned.
problems. We understand
Yeah,
that.
I love the vacations that my wife plans.
Yes,
But when it comes to how I want to spend my last days of summer, knowing that football season is right around the corner, you just want to enjoy, you want to relax, and, for Pat Costello and I, that means going out on the golf course every single day.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I understand.
I'm
Even
not
as a
taking my
non-golfer,
golf
I
clubs
understand
to
that.
the French Riviera.
No, God, lugging them and the travel
exactly.
and the checking the bags.
Exactly. And it's not like if we go over there, my wife is going to let me go away for 4 hours to play around the golf.
What the heck is she going to do?
Exactly. It's not going to happen.
You know what the problem is? Anytime you go on a vacation and there's a museum involved, it's too much work. I guarantee there's going to be some
there's
sort
gonna
of
be a museum involved,
God,
seeing
you
the
can't go to
castle.
Yeah. I want to go home already.
Yeah, we're going to go to Monaco, take a look around.
Monaco's great. I've been there.
I've never been. I've never seen it. And listen, it's not that I don't want to see it. It's just that these are the last, quote, off days that I'm going to have for the rest of the year.
Right. That's right.
That's it.
That's right. You want to wait. You want to go to South Carolina. You want to sleep in your own bed. You want to wake up at 8:30 in the morning, which for us is late.
No, that's too late. It's too late.
7:30.
Yeah, 7:30.
7:30 in the morning.
I want to be at the tee box by 8:05.
Okay.
Yeah.
7:30.
Is that about right, Pat? Try to beat the sun?
Oh, no.
The heat of the day?
No, I'm a play later in the day guy, so.
Oh, you're insane.
No, and the evening
you're
is the best
suicidal.
tee time. No, the
That's
evening is the best tee time for sure.
Like, you're going to play. Okay, Pat. All right. Fair enough. Taking yourself out of Connecticut, going to South Carolina in August. You're going to play at 5 o'clock in the afternoon?
I mean, I've never been to South Carolina, so I can't speak.
Okay,
to
I
that.
was
It's
about to
probably
say.
humid.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
guessing.
100 degrees. There's no shot.
French Riviera, by the way, is running away with this poll.
French Riviera?
72% already.
Wow.
I mean, it just was put up. But so you want to wake up. I want to paint the picture and set the scene here quickly. 7:30 wake up.
Yes.
Wipe the sleep out of your eyes.
Yeah.
Go downstairs, quick cup of coffee.
That's it.
Grabs a bagel or whatever on the way.
Yeah.
8:05. You want your shirt half tucked in, half out, like
No,
you're
the
just a
shirt's
mess.
the shirt's tucked in.
Oh, you're okay.
We have a proper club.
Okay. Oh,
And,
sorry.
Yeah, we have a proper club.
You want to be done with golf around 12:30. You want to have a monster
I
lunch.
want to be done with golf before noon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Monster lunch where you eat too much. You go home. Not to a hotel. Not, we got to go here. You go home. And then you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do the rest of the day. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're not really describing a vacation, though.
This
You're just
sounds like
describing
heaven to
something
me.
that Canty does normally.
Yeah.
But I don't do it normally,
No, but
though,
even
Pat.
if
That's
he
the
does,
point.
You
What?
think of the work that goes into going somewhere you've never been is enormous.
Yeah, but that's what a vacation is.
No, it's not. What a vacation is what he's describing. Not the French Riviera. We got to wake up at this time. We got to be here at this day. I made an appointment here. I made a reservation there.
Yeah.
Oh, we got this place doesn't open till this time, and it's only 2 hours. So then we got to figure out what we got to do here, and then we got to go to this. It's too much. It's too much work. I'm exhausted thinking about your French Riviera vacation.
That's a trip, not a vacation.
Good point, Cameron. Well done. Yeah,
That's
trip, not a vacation. That's
Fair
right.
enough.
That's right. Okay, well.
Speaking of tripping.
I was going to say the same thing. I'm glad you said it.
Oh, scary that we're sharing a brain now.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Okay, Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys had a presser yesterday. And it was like their introductory presser to training camp and to the 2025-2026 season. And I want to paint the picture a little bit from a visual. I have covered a million of these kinds of pressers, specifically with the Miami Dolphins when I lived in Florida. CeCe, playing 11 years in the NFL, has been to and conducted many of these pressers. And normally, I've
seen them in person.
It's normally like a little table with maybe a little tablecloth, a couple of microphones, maybe a little backdrop of the team logo.
Mm-hmm.
The Dallas Cowboys yesterday at Oxnard in California, or wherever it was yesterday. I think it was in California, right?
It's Oxnard, yeah.
Okay. Set up a stage as if there was a rock concert. And the way in which they have this set up, it's like Jerry Jones is the opener and the Killers are coming in afterwards is what it looks like. So you know going in, even that little note of the visual, this is going to be a show. And boy, was it yesterday when Jerry Jones, out of nowhere, just decided to take a shot at Micah Parsons.
Just because we signed him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. Seriously. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott. So there's a lot of things you can think about when you, just as the player does, when you're thinking about committing and guaranteeing money.
Let me correct myself. Not only did he take a shot at Micah Parsons, he took a shot at his quarterback, Dak Prescott.
He sure did.
As to the contract negotiations going on. CeCe, why?
Because he's entered a territory where he can literally say anything to Micah Parsons or about Micah Parsons and get away with it in his mind because he's going to make him the highest paid non-quarterback in the league. Think Jimmy Haslam not sitting down with Myles Garrett and then proceeding to pay him $40 million a year. That's where Jerry Jones is at with it. Because any other explanation just doesn't make sense. There is no alternative pathway to resolving this situation with Micah Parsons other than making him the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, right? They're not moving on from him. They're not trading him. The time has come and gone for that because you're talking about not getting anything in return for him in a trade that could actually help you this year. So the Dallas Cowboys are seemingly pot committed based on where we're at in the calendar to moving forward with Micah Parsons and giving him a bag of money. So Jerry Jones is just playing it up, milking it for all it's worth when it comes to the attentions, when it comes to the headlines, in an effort to move all the facets of his entertainment business forward, knowing all along that he's going to pay Micah Parsons exactly what Micah Parsons is looking for.
There's so much to dive into with this. So I just want to make sure that I am 100% clear on what you're saying, is that Jerry Jones has already decided the end result.
No, I'm not saying that.
Meaning that he's going to.
I'm not saying he's decided. I'm saying it has already been decided.
It has already been decided.
It has already been decided
that he will be Micah Parsons will be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
And your belief is Jerry Jones then thinks, if I'm going to pay you that much, I could do and say whatever I want.
Yes.
I don't see how life should work that way. I got to be honest with you. I mean, I'm just sitting there like...
It doesn't work that way for us, but we're not billionaires.
No, but even, like, let's just use Stephen A. His contract has become very public. He's talked about it.
Sure.
I'm not trying to talk about his money. He is, in my opinion, rightfully the highest paid person on our air.
No doubt.
I've never heard our bosses go after him as a result of that. That seems like an odd connect. If a company wants to make an employee the highest paid employee, one would think they're in such great partnership with that person that they're propping them up as much as possible. Why is Jerry not doing that?
It's clear that Jerry Jones doesn't view it as a partnership. He views them as an employee. And I'm not saying that that's far different from how other NFL owners view it.
Do you think the Chiefs are in partnership with Mahomes?
One would think.
Is there a connection between that mentality and winning?
That's a great question.
I had not thought about it this way until you set up the way in which you just said this. Because if it's employer and employee versus, yes, Patrick Mahomes is an employee of the Kansas City Chiefs.
No doubt.
But it also feels like he's in complete partnership with the people that he reports to. And their level of success has been astronomical.
Has it seemed like a partnership with Jerry Jones' negotiations of his star players over in recent years?
No, it has not.
Okay. So there's your answer.
Okay, there's a lot more to get into with this because we got to dive into that. He also took shots at other people. Jerry Jones just had a field day yesterday, and I think the Cowboys fans at some point are going to want somebody else to run this thing. It's not going to happen that way, but when an employer is running things right and they're looking for great employees, they're doing it through ZipRecruiter. According to a recent ZipRecruiter survey, 76% of employers plan to expand headcount for 2025. If you're one of these employers, add ZipRecruiter's latest feature, Zip Intro, to your hiring plan. It does most of the work for you, so you save time. Just pick a time, and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. You can even meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
The NFL on ESPN Radio.
Staying hungry, put the work in, cannot be content.
Camp to camp, team to team.
He's got it! Touchdown! Come on now. We're going to have action, too.
44 days until opening night. The countdown continues on ESPN Radio.
Cap and J Hood.
It's so good to have you guys a part of my life. And when I tune in every day, even though I don't call in as much as I should, I keep it locked in all the time up here in the snow.
I appreciate you, Curtis. Thank you so much for listening.
This radio station is by far the best radio station.
Get Cap and J Hood podcasts on demand in the ESPN Chicago app or listen weekdays 7 to 10 on ESPN 1000 and 100.3 HD2.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
It's a Bears town. We worship great defense. We appreciate frigid temperatures when our 11 are battling their 11 on the lakefront in January. We love a helmet with a chunk of fresh turf lodged in it. This is a Bears town. And we are the new home of the Bears. ESPN Chicago. Get some knowledge.
This is Al. It is our